Tuesday, August 8th, 2017, 7 p.m., the regular Board of Trustees meeting is called to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Williams. Here. Trustee Wilson.
Here.
Trustee Brooks.
Present.
Trustee McMillan.
We're still out of town. I think he was
Trustee Payne.
Here.
Trustee Brown.
Here.
Mayor Covington.
present. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Turn on any electronic devices. Thank you. Approval of the minutes.
Can't hear you.
Approval of the minutes.
So moved. Second.
Moved by trustee Payton, second by trustee Oxford Brown. Comments, concerns? Any comments, concerns? Well, actually, I can't do it, but I haven't really had time to go into mine. So I might have changes at the end. Is that okay? Be back with you, clerk. Thank you. Roll call.
Trustee Williams. Aye. Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee Payne.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye, and that is for June 27th only. I haven't got July. Okay, thank you. This time we will have general public comments.
Visitors are always welcome to all public meetings of the Board of Trustees. To comment on an issue, persons wishing to speak will be called upon by the mayor during Section E, general public comment. Interested party will stand, identify themselves, and make their comment. In order to give proper consideration to all items on this agenda, the mayor will limit participants in the debate and will close off protracted, repetitive, irrelevant, or abusive remarks.
And this will be enforced tonight. And there is an ordinance on stability, and I don't know if anyone has a copy of that. If not, we'll have them at the next board meeting to distribute to the public, so they really understand what that means. This time, Jeff, where's Steve? I'm sorry. I can't even. Right. It's your board.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees. My name is Jeff DeHoskam with the Firefighters Pension Board. I've been a firefighter out here since 1990, full-time since 95. The reason I come tonight is to advise you of an ongoing issue that's been going on for the past 18 months. Most of you, if not all of you, have received emails. Last one was in early May. After the email was sent out, Mayor Covington and Dr. Enya reached out to us to work on a situation that we had. We were awarded a default judgment through the courts, but we felt it was in the best interest to work as a group, and we had a productive meeting, and part of the problem's been addressed. However, with the standstill that's been going on, there's been no talks on it, and it's been over 2 months. Our due diligence is for our attorney to move forward on it. We're holding back because we made some progress and we're hoping to work together to get it done. However, if things continue the way they are with no response, the attorney's going to have to work towards the default judgment that we already received. If you want to contact me later on the details, feel free, but it's a large amount of money. We really don't want to do this. However, 2.5 months, whatever's going on, hands are tied, we're unable to move forward. I just wanted to advise you of the situation before papers were served to pursue it. Thank you for all the work you've done.
Jeff, I'm sorry. This for understanding, board members that might not understand it, or there was a letter that came, registered letter that I received that for some time, there was a pension, and it was not being acknowledged. Am I correct?
What it was for about 18 months, there's a 9.455% of our salary gets put into the pension fund. It was coming out of the payroll, but it wasn't being deposited to the fund. Currently, the number is somewhere between $170,000 and $175,000. Letters were sent, received, signed
To
for.
who were they sent to?
The village hall. They were served for court hearings, no one showed up. This started back in probably October of last year. We received a default judgment, I believe it was in December, and then another one after that. It has been through the court systems, but there's been no appearance from the village in that time frame. And then when the attorney reached out when the new board was sworn in, he sent everyone an email, and I believe he sent you a registered letter.
Yes.
And when that came is when the wheels started moving, and we met with Dr. Enya and worked out a preliminary, not just us, the police pension board. I'm not here to speak on their behalf, but they're involved in the conversation also. Difference is we have a default judgment. I don't believe they've gone through the system yet, so. Something that the lawyer reached out to the new board hoping to settle amongst us rather than go for a default judgment and make a hardship on everybody.
You said that there has been no communication from the village in the last 2 months?
I believe Dr. Enya's hands are tied. She met with us back in late May, early June, and started to reverse the process, but she said she was limited on what could be done until her position, I believe, was official, to where saying there's been no current village manager. I believe her hands are tied and we haven't pursued it. We're waiting to see where it went, but the time frame we gave was a month. It's been 2 months, and the lawyer feels it's time to move forward. So I come to the board to advise everyone.
When were the default judgments in?
What's that?
When were the default judgments in?
First one was back in December. I find out when the other one is, but December was the first one. There was one shortly after that. Another no-show. But the first one was December, and I believe there was a second one where they confirmed it. Like I say, the amount stopped right now is about 175 on our end. The police attorney was also at the meeting, but the agreement was we work on it, but right now we're at a standstill, so if there's something that can be done to have us work again, we'd be more than glad to go that route. Thank you.
I wanted to thank Jeff for
explaining the circumstances as well as providing this information to the board. This has been brought up in several previous board meetings where I in particular referenced the lack of payment to the pensions and the need to come to an agreement with both the police pension and the firefighters pensions attorneys. So this has been an ongoing issue. It's one of many that I had hoped we'd be able to address because it's very urgent. So I want to thank you for explaining that to the board and for your service.
Thank you. Gina Williams?
Good evening, everyone. I first want to thank Chief Payton for the outstanding job he did on the safety forum that was held here on Saturday. He always brings us facts, statistics. He does a great PowerPoint presentation. He lets us know how we rank against other communities, what his goals are for our future. And I just want to really take the time to thank him for taking time out of his schedule, because it has been a zoo on next door with people asking questions every time there was a crime. And I want to say I fully appreciate him I appreciate the mayor, because she was here. She shedded a lot of light on different things. And one of the concerns was the cable, which she did let us know. She's working towards that end so that the village can be informed, because a lot of our seniors are not on Nextdoor or don't make it to these meetings, and they're concerned about their safety as well. So I want to thank her. I want to thank all the trustees that came out Saturday. I understand Pastor Williams is having something similar tomorrow, so hopefully the community will come out for that. I also want to thank Dr. India for everything that she has done, her professionalism, how she addressed this thing in this short period of time, how she took care of a lot of legal matters. And as you just heard the gentleman say, back in December when Ms. Townsend was sitting over there, February, Ms. Townsend was sitting over there, and nothing was being done. And we stood here, I tap danced, did a song and a dance about transparency. When is cable coming back on? When are bills gonna be paid? When can you let us know anything? Everything was closed door in the dark. So now I thank God for people like him that are bringing it to the front and letting us know what was really going on. She could only do so much, but she's done an outstanding job. So I just truly want to thank her, want to thank the chief and all of our elected officials on the ones that do try to make this village work. Mr. Brown, you're looking very nice tonight, and I'm still keeping you in prayer. God bless.
Thank you. Ms. Bridget? Bridget, C-A-R-E-Y, here.
Hello. My name's Bridget Carey. This is my husband, Reed Nuttall. We're opening Cool Clouds Vapor Shop at 1303 Hamilton, near the truck stop. We've been in business for 3 years in Evergreen Park, and we're excited to move our Moni location into University Park and hope to expand our business a little bit more here. We're at 1303 Hamilton, just east of the McDonald's at the truck stop. We are a retailer for electronic cigarettes and vapor products. We focus on helping people quit smoking and helping them navigate the technology and the news and all the other things surrounding that. So if we have anything we can help you out with, or if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Inspections tomorrow, so soon, as soon as possible.
Thank you. Ms. Betty Wayne? You want to ask a question? No. Okay. Okay. Ms. Bernice O'Brien?
Okay. One of my questions already been answered on the agenda for tonight, but one I do have is for the public comments part where we come up first. I was wanting to address, if possible, we can have that sent or two, like one, whoever wants to sign the first comment to address first or last. I would like to have that removed or someone at the end of the meeting so I can ask some questions after you all have y'all meeting. Is it possible?
You want it in, you want the suggestions, the comments at the end of the agenda.
Exactly.
Just to let you know, Mr. O'Brien, this has been like a tennis ball. We've done it front, then people complain, then we move it back, people complain, back to the front. So, we will discuss that with the board and see if they will be in agreement of moving it back.
Let's at least have two, if it's possible, have two comment sections. One in the beginning and some at the end.
You'll never get out of here.
I know, my suggestion, that's one, remember, but the other one is, it's on the agenda for tonight. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Madam, if I could, address,
Yes.
you know, Mr. Bryan, if you want to make comments on an item that's on the agenda, you could do that once the board has finished their dialogue, so you could still speak even after public comment.
Oh, okay.
If allowed by the
Okay.
chief.
Okay, great, thanks.
All right. Deborah Strauss?
Happy August, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good evening to the mayor, to the board, to the staff, to those present. For those that don't know, I have the pleasure of being chairman of the University Park Senior Citizens Committee. So, once again, tonight, just wanted to bring to the attention that we have been refurbishing our committee as other committees of the village is doing. And one thing that we have kept intact, though our funds have been a little low, one thing we have kept intact, we are donating, once again, to Settlers Pond. And for those that aren't familiar, Settlers Pond is where the animals from Regal Farm are located. So, our committee is sending a donation to them for feeding those animals. It'll be going in the mail tonight or tomorrow. And also, we always try to donate to one of the villages, one or two of the village's youth programs. So we will be donating to the University Park Youth Athletic Association. And also, in the past, since the village has always assisted us for the Senior Fun Day, as they have done in the past, what I'd like to do, in the style of Oprah, is make sure that everyone gets an invite. So, yes, sir. Start with you. Yes, your invite to our annual Senior Fun Day. Okay. Always make sure that elected officials, village staff gets their personal invite. Here, sir, you may come out that way. There you are. And I'll even leave some of these up here at the desk for anyone else who wants to acknowledge. Oh, you want to go out? Thanks. I'll leave these up at the desk for anyone else that may want to attend. It is August 30th, right here at 12 noon to 4 p.m. So if you are a senior who is over 55 years old, there's no charge for you. If you're not 55 years old, there is a modest $5 fee to be paid. If you play bingo, bid whist, any kind of cards, Keno, you might even win a 50-50 raffle. So come on out and join us. Be sure to save this date to come and fellowship with us so you can enjoy listening to the sounds and tunes of good old days. You can enjoy a delicious, delectable, home-cooked soul food plate that will be oh so yummy, yummy, yummy to the tongue. Come early enough as food is being plated on a first come, first served basis. Make sure that we see you there to enjoy this event with us. And again, in tradition, we have received a couple donations from some of the retired police chiefs. You don't have to be retired, Chief Mate, to donate. Don't want you to feel left out. Or anybody else, you're more than welcome to donate. Again, that date, August 30th, right here at the town center, from noon till 4. Thank you so much.
Yeah, get early because the greens are good.
Any donation.
Thank you.
Any donation. We accept all donations.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Mr. Arlong.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, to all of the residents. I just have a few concerns. There was a major concern, and I'm addressing the board on this, so that the residents can have some answers about what is going on. And when you talk about transparency, you know, to make sure that transparency is happening. The $20,000 that
Ms. Mueller.
pardon me? The $20,000 that was requested by Dr. Inye and for payment, and this was supposedly okay with the board. You know, if the board can provide some insight on that, you know, was this $20,000 requested without the board knowing it? And, you know, was it also said by the mayor that it was okay with the board, that $20,000 be paid before the board approves it? When this information comes back to us as residents, we have a right to be concerned about that. It has nothing to do with whose side you're on. We want our village to be run properly. We are taxpayers. We can ask questions about it, and we deserve to have an answer. I don't think it should be anyone beating up on anyone or trying to attack anyone's character. I'm just not for that. Let the facts be the facts, and I would appreciate it if someone from the board would respond to that. Another thing that's we're hearing is that the tax ID number is suspended. What is that about? Can we get some answers? What's going on with that? Aqua was here and gave a presentation. One of the things I would like to ask if the board would look into is having water in our parks. Our young people are at the parks, they're playing, there's no water there. We have suffered with this ever since I became a part of baseball 10 years ago. Aqua stood before us and said the things that they provided to University Park, which added up to about $200. And then we're supposed to be happy with that, with all the monies that we're paying for our water. I would appreciate if someone would ask if we could have, I don't know if that's the village or if it's Aqua, but if you could work together to get some water in the park, it would be greatly appreciated. And let us know what's going on. Why can't we have water in the park? Don't just leave us out here hanging and talking about the people that we've elected to represent us. I think we as residents want to work with the people that we voted for. You know, I'm not against anyone up here, but I deserve some answers as a taxpayer. The website is not updated. Has no pictures of our newest trustees. When I go on the website, something so minor as having a picture of Theo on there would be nice. If I could see Curtis' picture on there, that would be nice. If I could see Trustee Williams' picture on there, that would be nice. I mean, come on, just update the website. These are some of the minor things, you know, to just make you feel like things are working. You go to the website, you can't find, I couldn't find minutes from June or July. And I know we only had one meeting in July, right? So now we're at the first meeting in August. Are you serious? We can't have the minutes from July? What is that about? Why can't we have those minutes? Why can't we go on there and view those minutes? Why do we have to wait for something like that? It still says on there, you heard Deborah Stroud just stood up here and said she was over the seniors, but on the website, it says contact Ken North. Who is Ken North? And why has that been on our website forever? Money taken out of the pensions, what is that about? Money is also taken out of employees' paychecks for insurance, and that money was never paid for the insurance. Is the board aware of that? Monies are taken out of my husband's check to pay for his insurance that the insurance people never got. And so we then had to pay so that they wouldn't cancel the insurance, we then had to pay that insurance up. But the money has been taken out. So I think somebody owes us some money. And I'd like that money back. The other thing, Prairie State College, the information on their website, on our village website, is from 2013. Can we get that updated? I mean, we're talking just links here. Is anybody even monitoring that website? I'm just wondering what's going on. Can we just do some things to make us feel like you're working for us? I would be happy with that because I'm willing to work with you for my own village for the things that need to be done. And one last thing I want to say, thank you, Dr. Inye, for the work that you did do here. I don't know the whole story because the whole story hasn't been told. So we get bits and pieces. What are we to do as residents? I would also like to be able to contact all of you. I can only contact a few of you because on the website, that information is not updated. I would love to give you a call when I have a concern, or if someone is asking me a question. I'm not a village trustee. Let's call Trustee Brooks. Maybe we can get an answer there. Let's contact Trustee McMullen. Maybe we can get an answer there. I can always get an answer from Trustee Payton. Always. I've never called that number and never got an answer. I can always get an answer from Oscar Brown when I can reach you. That's not an easy thing. But you see what I'm saying? We want to work with you as residents. And then I don't think it should be one-sided. When we talk about unity, come on. I'm saying to the residents and I'm saying to the board, it's time for us to work together. Stop the madness. But when we have questions, we have a right to ask. And it shouldn't be you're asking because you hate me or you're against me. It shouldn't be any of that. Let's work together. Let's show that we do have this unity. There are people in our community with certain levels of skill and that who can jump right in and do certain things. But we've got to work together, and transparency has not happened, but it needs to happen. Thank you.
Ms. Lawson, I can address. The $20,000, that was never told by me. I cannot do that. I don't know. I'm concerned about certain financial information that's getting out of our financial area to the public, and it's misinformation. What was said, Ms. Inya did request when was she going to get her payment. I have the email, and the attorney said, Ms. Cecilia said, well, we have to have board approval. The attorney, I said, I'll put the attorney on there. The attorney said, I said, what's the process? And our clerk said, our attorney said we have to have a special meeting. Our clerk said we will set one up. That's what the $20,000, that's the end of that rumor, and that's the honest to God truth. As far as Aqua, we can request that they put water in our boats. We can do that.
In our parks.
Yes, we can ask that. That's a request we can do. Website, and I will say, we as the board are legislators and policymakers. The village managers that are here are supposed to be over the staff. And I argue with that. I'm very upset. I made comments constantly, just as recent as last week. I sent an email to all the new trustees requesting they forward their pictures to Daryl so they can be put on the website. I did that, how long ago was that?
That was 2 weeks ago. No, Madam Mayor, we just addressed that within this week.
Again, that was the second time. I did it the first time, and they did submit it. So as far as that, the website, and you're right, we only have tonight the minutes from June 27th. We don't have the July minutes yet. So until we get them, then they'll go up. Then we have to approve them, they'll go on the website, but we don't have them yet. The board does not have the July minutes yet. And the insurance, yes, we heard that stated here tonight. The village managers are responsible for that and financing. And they are not supposed to take out of your check and not pay the bill. And that has been done. So we are aware of that now, as you heard. It was brought to the board. And I did get a registered letter stating the whole trafficking of when it wasn't and who it went to. This wasn't paid, that wasn't paid, that wasn't paid. And then it came to me and said that we're about to sue. And then that's when this Dr. Apinya came on board. She did talk to them, and they got a negotiation started to block it, thus far. So, you're absolutely correct on that.
But that doesn't cover the insurance that was taken out of our checks, because when we called Jacilia, Jacilia give us a song and a dance. And she'll say, oh, well, this was done and that was done, but it was never, ever done. And we were went along with that for, about 3 months. And, after that, they're ready to cancel that insurance.
Absolutely. And I apologize because, like I said, we don't do the day-to-day. We have no knowledge that was going on. That's at the village manager's level. We didn't know about it until we get a registered letter at sue point or saying they're going to cancel. That's the only time we will get informed of it and the village board. So
I should have come to you way before.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, because the other part to that is someone even approached my husband and said, when he came, I urged him, it's not my job, it's your job. But someone came to him and said, we don't put our dirty laundry in the streets or whatever. And, I'm like, well, the board meeting is where, you have to get answers to that, because he is a village employee. So where does he go if he can't come to the board?
Yes, he can come to the board. He has the right to come to the board to do that. We had no knowledge of that because we don't know what the payroll is. We don't see payroll. The board, even on bills payable, we don't see payroll. So that's something that's internal. So, and I apologize for that. And she's going to say something.
So I wanted to respond to the questions. Thank you for your questions. I agree that you should ask questions. That's very important. To the first question with regard to the $20,000, just to make sure there's a level of detail about what that process was like. So I had not been compensated, still haven't been compensated for my time here in the village. What was unclear was whether or not there needed to be a special board meeting for me to be able to be compensated. A lot of the discussion has centered on what this payment amount would be. And so instead of having a long back and forth, it was decided that it would simply be the village, my predecessor's salary. So just a rollover was the same. What they had been paying to the predecessor would be the same for myself. What wasn't clear was whether there needs to be special board approval or can you just continue? Once the question was posed, the attorney advised and said that we had to do a special board meeting. And so we called a special board meeting. Unfortunately, most of the trustees were not able to attend. And so as of this day, I still have not been compensated for my time in the village. So that's the $20,000. I think it was, I don't have the exact number off the top, but that's what the process was for that $20,000. To your second point, or actually the last point,